Details on a mother's claim that her son was cremated without her permission. To make matters worse, she didn't even know that he had died. New tonight, Rusty Surrett finds out where things went wrong.
We told you earlier this week that the family blames the medical examiner's office because this is the agency that signs off on all cremation permits here in the state of Oklahoma. And while that is true, we've since learned that the responsibility for notifying the family may actually be someone else's job.
There's nothing left of him. There's not even any ashes, no bones, nothing.
Amber Bernstein is still trying to figure out how this happened, how her 50-year-old son, Anthony, was cremated against her wishes.
And I go, cremated? He can't be cremated. You have to die. You can't just be cremated. They burned him.
Bernstein says Anthony went missing for 2 years, and it wasn't until last year the family learned of his death and cremation, a disturbing discovery for Bernstein because of her Jewish faith.
That's all I've thought about ever since, is they burned him just like Hitler.
What happened to Anthony in 2007 begins at the Oklahoma County Jail. He was picked up and held here for violating a probation order on an old drug charge. But 10 days later, a judge signed off on a bond allowing for his release because Anthony was ill. So ill that he checked himself in a St. Anthony's hospital, and on September 20th, that's where he died. A spokeswoman for St. Anthony's declined to talk about this case, but says when a person passes away at the hospital and next of kin cannot be notified, the staff will exhaust all resources to try and track down a family member. In Anthony's case, no family member was ever told of his death. So the next step was to turn his body over to Oklahoma County Social Services.
If we have a body, that means that we need to take care of the person. They need to be buried, cremated, whatever the situation may be.
Because next of kin couldn't be found, Social Services then contacted a funeral home to begin the cremation process. But before that happened, the medical examiner's office signed off on a cremation permit. It's all part of a routine process that just happened to take this mother by surprise.
Somebody needs to pay for what they've done. That's a life. My son was a person. He was a human, but he wasn't treated like a human, even if he did something wrong many years ago.
Even though it was the hospital's responsibility for tracking them down, an attorney for the Bernstein family says they are still blaming the medical examiner's office, again, because this was the final stop for that cremation permit. The attorney says if the medical examiner is going to sign off on the cremation permits, they need to make sure that everyone else has done their job. By the way, a spokeswoman for the ME's office insists they did nothing wrong, but the family still plans to pursue legal action in this case. We'll keep you posted.